The Gaelic women of Paisley. In the late 18th century, textile production in Paisley had created a wealthy artisan weaving community, coinciding with the Highland clearances and extreme poverty in Gaelic-speaking areas. Highlanders were drawn to Paisley by well-paid work, and a substantial Gaelic community was established in the town. Harris Tweed can be said to have its origins in Paisley, stretching back to the 1840s when two islanders came south to be trained by local Paisley weavers. The cloth produced with the techniques they learned was of such quality their local landowners saw a chance to market it as a high-end product. From there, Harris Tweed, as we know it, was born. To this day, a plaque dedicated to the Paisley sisters sits on the site of their former cottage on the now uninhabited island of Pabby. In this podcast, we hear from Stuart, originally from the Highlands, and now an honorary Paisley buddy, contributor to this podcast, student and UWS radio manager. We also have some Gaelic Waulking Songs taught by Catherine Tinney and also the Waulking Song group based in Inverclyde.
Hello, I am Stuart Warren, not in campus at UWS, but still UWS radio, actually live in Paisley. Paisley, a town of buddies, a town built on the back of mill workers, where the clatter of looms once filled the air, and where the pattern that bears its name found its way across the world. But Paisley's more than just a history, it's rebellion, resilience and raw energy. From the factory floors to the punk gigs, from the terraces to the tenements. This is a place where working class roots run deep and community runs deeper. It's a town that gave us poets and punks, artists and activists, where hard graft and creativity go hand in hand. And no matter how much it changes, one thing stays the same. Paisley is full of buddies, and buddies look after their own. So, as some of you know, the UWS listeners, I am originally from the Highlands, the capital of the Highlands, Inverness. My family go well back to Orkney, which is really cool because I'm hopeful. I'm going to do a DNA test one day to find out I've got some Viking blood in me, because that would be incredible. And it was really cool to listen to some of the stories from the guy called Clark, which was really fascinating, because I didn't know that there was a lot of women from Scottish Highlands that came down here to work in the mills as well, which they also brought a lot of Gaelic and sort of Gaelic songs, traditions, which was really cool to hear. And it kind of gave me recently like a new love and interest in going back to my Highland roots as well. So it's been quite interesting, and I've obviously found some poems about the Highland women and about the Highlands itself. Like, I didn't know there was a Robert Burns one, which was really cool to hear.
And then I brought a recording because I've become really interested in the Waulking Songs. So if anyone doesn't know what that is, when the Highlands and Islands women would tread the Tweed, they would have this kind of rocking back and forth motion, and they'd sing these songs together in Gaelic. And I did a workshop with Catherine Tinney, who's from Skye, I believe, and I've got a recording here that she taught us, and it's a lot of the songs had a lot of innuendos, so it's quite an innuendo-laden song. But they're very cheeky songs, and this is about a nobleman that the female protagonist fancies. So I'm going to put that recording on.
This is a length of tweed woven in Lewis, and it's we got it about not long after we started, really, say about 2002 or something, and it's been bashed and hammered and pulled apart by little boys, and look at it, it's still perfectly good. So it's a great advertisement for the hard-wearing qualities of Harris Tweed, although this isn't Harris Tweed, but it's the next best thing, Lewis Tweed.
And next, we're going to play a song by a Paisley songwriter called Hush Hush. And this version we've chose is by Ardith and Jennifer, who are from Nova Scotia. And the reason we picked this version because it's got some Gaelic in it, and I think it's a song about the Highland clearances, which is very meaningful, and of course with the Gaelic language. So we're going to play that now.
By Jim McLean.
Oh, he mina mo vinya, oh, he mina ko vinya, oh, he mina ko regin. Once our valleys were ringing with sounds of our children singing. Now sheep bleat till the evening, and shearlings hang empty and open. We stood, our heads bowed in prayer, while factors laid our cottages bare. Flames fired clear mountain air, and many were dead by the morning.
I'm Frances Dunlop, the founder of Sgioba Luaidh Inbhirchluaidh, which is our walking song group based here in Inverclyde.
Do you know what the actual process consists of?
The actual
Why we're doing it and how it all works? And why we've got all these songs? Because it's so long, a process. When the tweed comes off the loom, it's kind of like
I should have brought samples.
It's almost like sacking. It's flat and it's horrible, and you can nearly see daylight through it. And what happens is it's soaked in mature urine that had been fermented. Basically, put in a big tub and left to sit.
Yeah, so I am going to read the poem out to you now. It's something that really hit home with me, and yeah, here it goes. It's called My Heart's in the Highlands. My heart's in the Highlands, my heart's not here. My heart's in the Highlands, oh chasing the deer. Chasing the wild deer and following the roe. My heart is in the Highlands, wherever I go.
Anyway, what happens is when it comes off the loom, it's usually, the Hattersley's are about 32 inches wide, and it's usually finished down to about 28, unless it's for, it depends on how firm you want it, and it firms it up, it closes the weave, it softens the cloth, makes the handle better, and brightens the natural dyes as well. And then after it's bashed until you get, in this fashion, until it gets to the proper constituency and width. That can take up to 3 hours.
Well, it's taken us up to 3 hours. If it was a longer cloth, it would take more. The longest we've done is 20.
Is it 20?
20 metres is the longest we've done.
3 hours and 30 songs.
And they would do more than that.
Yeah, they would. So
sometimes 2 in a night.
If you can think and sit and bashing away at cloth for all that time.
And
it's heavy.
Yes, so you would really need that.
And then as it dries, you get faster songs. You're only allowed one drowning song per walking because there were so many people involved in seagoing.
Vidmilu met een lang eer en een okko, vidmilu en een lang eer en een okko, vidmilu, kare. Vidmilu met een lang.
You don't stop when you start the walk. You keep going until you get to the stage where it's the rise.
Yeah. And you just know
by the feel of it.
Yeah.
You stop and measure it.
And nudging each other, going, you feel it going.
You could be partway through a big long song,
Uh-huh.
and you just got to stop.
Yes.
Because
You feel it when you
I think Gaelic culture was the only one that used song for the work, so that's why it's so important to keep it going and to preserve it and to carry it on.
And isn't it the biggest repository of women's work songs in Western Europe and the Gaelic?
Of folk song, I would say.
Yes.
And they're also very true to the country and to the township they live in, you know.
And it gives you an insight into ordinary women's lives that you don't get in history books.
Agus ho Vorak, that doesn't really mean anything other than and o Morak. Morak is a Gaelic grammarian, but remember I said about coded songs, that we got political songs as well. So there's actually quite a lot of Jacobite walking songs that would be discussing things that were happening and news being shared of progress and Bonnie Prince Charlie's coming over, he's bringing an army from France and all this sort of stuff, but actually the songs wouldn't directly reference all of this. It would all be in code, singing about someone called Morak and her beautiful hair and and how wonderful she is, and then references to other families and other clans, and red cloth, which is obviously red coats, and so again there's quite a lot of historical importance in some of these songs as well. On the first look, you just see it's a song about someone called Morak, but actually if you look beyond that, there's a lot more to it.
We walked in
Paisley Museum.
in Paisley, and but some place we walked in, there were several people in the audience, women that came to say that they'd worked in the mill. Do you remember that? And it was very interesting talking to them.
We are nurses that are working in the mill. Danny wrote.
He did a lot.
He wrote a song for a lady called Sadie Fogg.
Ah.
Now, Sadie Fogg was an auxiliary.
What's her name? Excuse me?
Sadie Fogg, as
Fogg,
in
right.
fogged weather, only
Right.
2 G's.
Right.
And Sadie Danny had somehow, through the small short cottages, met up with Sadie, and Danny had, I think I've got the story right, a Paisley shawl, but it had been damaged by moths or by something, and Sadie took it away and she mended it by hand, and she mended it so beautifully you would hardly know that it had been repaired. And Danny wrote a song for Sadie about, now it was something to do with the mills or the shawl or something along those lines.
Weaver's Lament, on the failure of the celebrated strike of weaving for a minimum of wages in 1812. Ye weavers cease to mourn and grieve, can bitter sighs your case relieve? Nay mair, let's hope your hearts deceive, fixed is your fate, be thankful you're allowed to weave at ony rate. Deaf to your earnest cries and prayers, against you ilka door declares, nor king nor parliament her cares, nor local powers, all busy with their own affairs, they mind not ours. O Scotia, thy spring is past, thy summer but a blink did last, thy leaves are strewn on the blast of autumn snell, thy winter is approaching fast, dark, dour and fell.
That's the Friday say. That's like the first time since I did my hires I've actually read a poem out loud to people.
Oh,
so
nice. Okay.
yeah, so
We're facing our fears with this podcast.
exactly.
That's
this is
the
about
other
facing
side.
your fears.
This is about facing your fears.
This is facing our fears.